Last week, demo from Mike about CSV, Excel import, export. We talked about several improvements. Unfortunately, I didn't get any news from Big about testing the perf about it. I wanted to talk about 3 improvements I'm working on. Might do it next week, because I will have more things to show and more time, and it saddens me to see that Thierry F is joining, because he might have some topics to talk about. At page today is 12/13/2022. Do we have demos? Good. Do we have topics?
I have question about GraphQL. Hopefully won't take too long, but
yeah. Like, you know, that whenever we talk about something, it takes 1 hour at least, and then we're like, okay, we are over time.
I know. I just need some guidance on something. So if we can, if not,
we'll see if we know.
All right.
Status. Let me check. Oh, should one. We did some triage last week, but not much. Just some comments. Orchard core. Last week was 12.6. The same way there is validation at the parts level. Where can I find something here? Something interesting to see. Seems like the view has changed, because I used to be able to see more than just that. So ContentField handler now has events, and I assume ContentField handler is something new. The same way we had ContentPart handler. So these handlers will be called for every single field also, and you can validate and do all sorts of things with it. So Orchard will become much slower. We'll see. Can we see, actually? Let's see if we can see. Because it was merged on Thursday, right? So we should be able to see if there was an impact, even without doing anything, like meaning even without implementing any handlers. So if I go MVC, if I go, nope, no visible regression in RPS, and this is up to date today. But that's good. That would be still great to see if someone can. I could do that, but time could try to understand where those regressions are coming from in terms of memory usage. Might be an issue. I know we saw one of them was around the time where there was an optimization that was done for multi-tenancy and shared descriptor loading. And we see that it was an increase in memory usage. So that's weird, but that might be related. Okay. Role creation to the recipe instead of the feature activation. Because features should not decide what roles are created, but only the recipes. Features can decide what are the default permissions for a named role if the role exists. From Mike again. Now Thierry. Bring duplicate ResourceCdnHelperExtensions. there was a duplicate. Remove double database connection validation is set up. So rename this thing. Trust theory and all the approvers. Okay, good. Done. Done. GraphQL topic.
So I'm trying to implement field level search, part of input. And kind of worked on it a little bit. I put a draft PR just so I can share some of the code. I'm at the point, I haven't got to the point where I need to actually add the filters to the query, not yet. But I'm trying, so if you look at the content, the dynamic content field builder that I add in there, just that class. So I'm just basically building the fields, adding the where inputs, the fields to them so that the user can select from for the graphical, so the UI.
It's graphical, okay.
And it's for some reason, this class just breaks the UI, so nothing shows up on the left. And I have no idea why. I think it's something to do with the resolver. But I can't, like, there is nothing, it's hard to debug the resolver for some reason. I'm wondering if, like, I assume the context.source at that point is content item. And I'm trying to grab the content part, line 112, 112. I think that's what's causing the issue, that field.
Maybe because you assume it's a content item.
Yeah, and it's really hard to debug that resolver for some reason. I just don't know if there's...
Maybe logging?
Yeah, I tried.
Even on the console, it's fine to log on a console when you debug stuff.
Yeah, I tried. It's not writing anything, so I'm not sure.
Maybe it's not cold, and maybe it's not the issue.
What was that?
Maybe it's not cold at all.
Yeah, very possible. And I just don't know. Like, where would I begin? But this is basically grabbing a content part and then navigating through each field in that content part and just adding them as a custom input. So that way the fields that inside the part, they're wrapped under a part name.
But what will you do with them?
Well, I want to add them as a where into the where input, right? And then somehow I would want to take those where inputs and convert them like into the query, into the indexes that we have, the field indexes.
Okay. The SQL one, for instance.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's the idea. I just don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm trying to get the fields to work first.
And at least to provide simple filters like just ends with specific values.
Yeah.
Or it could also be like
a numeric field inside the part called, price information. Then I want to be able to go price information, and then price and filter by that way.
Yeah, and you could also generate the greater than, equals, lower than, contains,
correct,
whatever.
Yep.
That's just an option. Okay.
Yep. And that's what the field provider does, right? The field provider gives you the mapping between the fields, and so you have the correct field to add, and which also has the all the proper filters. Like if it's a string, it gives you more options than if it's a numeric and things like that.
Okay, and that should be part of the indexer feature, SQL indexing feature.
Yeah, I haven't got that far.
Yeah, okay.
I just need to get the UI first, and then I'll try to figure a way how to add those indexes.
Oh yeah, because on Thursday we looked at the code that was injecting the things for the part. ContentField provider. I see. This is the same as a ContentPart provider to get the field information for a specific field. Okay.
Correct. Yep. Because we have multiple content providers for the field providers, and so this way we find the actual definition of that field, and then this is the only difference, is that I'm checking if it's scalable, because we can't filter by anything that isn't scalable, or scalar, I meant. So.
Yeah, and first you need to see if you can access this method, if it's actually called. And then
This is called, yes.
Then log everything and also remove stuff until it works back, so you know what's breaking.
Yeah, it's what's breaking is that field, the dynamic line 102. If I remove that, I believe I tested it,
Okay.
that works. So it's something in there. And the only thing that I'm not sure about is that resolver. So that's why I'm wondering if there's any feedback on that.
Yeah, I don't remember how it works. I used to know. I did the parts and the querying on the parts, but it was like 4 or 5 years ago. Get generic arguments.
So that line 110, I actually copied it from a class that exists. It's called Dynamic Content Type Builder, because we have similar whenever we add the fields to the select side, not to the filter.
Okay, well, I don't know. I hope someone can help you, but right now I can't. Maybe ping Mike.
Sure.
But that should be useful. Filtering on fields, because we have them in the database for filtering, not just for querying. So
Yeah, the only issue with whenever we actually take it and pass it to the query, which is I thought about it, but I am not sure how that's going to work, is we have to pass the filter. Currently, we just take because we have an index provider, and so we just take the type of the index and we add it to the query with the with extension. But I think in this case we have to provide a different way, where we provide the index but also a predict, because the predict has to determine to say, hey, look for this. We have to, I think, provide it. But anyway, that's something else I have to worry about.
Interesting. So it's building an expression to give to yes SQL after. That's beautiful. If I made it, then I'm proud of myself. If I didn't, then I wish I had made it. I remember that. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Good questions, comments?
I'm good.
Jerry, welcome back. I saw some PRs and emojis. Good job. Can thank Jean-Thierry for reviewing everything for that. Okay, well, let's go watch the game. Thanks, everyone. See you on Thursday or next week. Bye-bye.